welcome back to the channel. This is MTG Ghoul Dude, and today I wanted to give y'all a little run through of my Giada Font of Hope Angel Tribal deck. So, start off a little bit about Giada Font of Hope. For 1 and a white, you get a 2/2 legendary creature angel with flying and vigilance, which that's actually very important for her next ability, because each other angel you control enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other angel you already control. And it has a tap to add a white, and you can only spend it to cast an angel spell. So the first couple cards I wanted to put in here were Swift Foot Boots and Unbreakable Formation, specifically to keep all of our creatures alive. And then we have the ramp package, which starts out with Soul Ring, Weathered Wayfarer, Land Tax, and that is a very old Land Tax, Arcane Signet, Fractured Power Stone, Liquid Metal Torque, Marble Diamond, Mind Stone, Pearl Medallion, Thought Vessel, Knight of the White Orchid, Burnished Heart. Extra Planar Lens is in the deck because I am running snow basic planes instead of regular planes, because I want to get the advantage out of that. Commander Sphere, Smothering Tithe for a little bit of extra super pumped up mana, a beautiful Gauntlet of Power, and a Gilded Lotus. Now we're going to move into our angels slash pseudo angels, starting off with Universal Automaton, because it is a changeling, so it is an angel. Segovian Angel, Angelic Curator, Angelic Page, Imposter of the Sixth Pride. Now this isn't a definite angel, but it is a changeling, so I did include those. And this one right here, this is probably one of my new favorite cards to put in tribal decks, or anything that makes a lot of tokens of one kind, and that's Bloodline Pretender. So for 3 mana you get a 2/2 that starts off, and it's an artifact creature, so keep that in mind. But it has changeling, and when it enters you can choose a type. And whenever another creature of the chosen type enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Bloodline Pretender. This is very similar to the Youthful Valkyrie and all those other kind of effects that, put a counter when a creature enters. Angel of Vitality, because we will always have 25 more life at the beginning of the game. Guardian of Geoper, because this does blink, and what I have noticed is when you play this card and you have a angel already out on the battlefield that you want to make bigger, you blink that one and then you make it bigger for later. Inspiring Overseer for a little bit of card draw. Righteous Valkyrie can get nasty when you have good life gain in a deck, and this is one of those decks to where if you can pop off, you're gonna have a lot of life gain, and that life gain, that intentional life gain, is important. Starheim Aspirant, this should have been in the ramp because angels will cost 2 less. Solemn Simulacrum is a little bit of ramp. Fierce Commando, this is a new card out of the Commander deck. It has flying. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, you draw a card. It doesn't have to have any other, just 2 or more. It could be tokens. And whenever another player attacks with 2 or more creatures, they draw a card if none of those creatures attack you. So it's a hey, you can do the thing, just don't do it to me, and you get something out of it. Yeah, just don't look at me, look that way. Irregular Cohort. This is another all-star in my tribal decks because it's a 2-for-1. You pay 4 mana for 2 2/2s, or it could be 3 3s or 4 4s, whatever you're playing them in. Thraben Watcher is a good vigilance, non-token vigilance, and plus Anthem Giver. Angel of Grace. This one might end up being a slot because I haven't ended up using this one a lot for its ability, but it is one of those abilities that are just like, you know what, in case something happens. Angel of Invention. We're getting to our bigger angels now. Flying Vigils with Lifelink and Fabricate 2, and it gives an Anthem to our angels. And if this is if we're playing these on curve, This one's probably coming out on turn, what, 5? Maybe 3, 4. And this could get nasty, because this is a buff to everything. Then we can't have an angel deck without an Avacyn in it. Guardian Angel, this is a protection to player. Like, you can use this, what is it called? You can use this in a way that benefits not only you, but somebody else to curry favor. Politically, there we go, that's the word I was looking for. Then we have Bonebringer Valkyrie from the new March of the Machine set. It has backup. I thought it was pretty cool. For 5 mana, it's a 4/4, but it can back up for 1. You could put its abilities on it, and it just becomes a 5/5 for 5. Karmic Guide to bring an angel back from the graveyard. And then we have this gorgeous Lyra Dawnbringer. I just had to put it in the deck. I pulled it whenever Dominaria Remastered came out, and you just can't beat a beautiful Lyra. Then we have Emiria Shepherd for 5 and 2 white. It has landfall that if you have enough planes, you can bring some stuff straight back to the battlefield. And these last 4 aren't necessarily creatures that go with the tribe, and they are spells that make angels. So Emiria's Call, and it also doubles as a land. And Starenheim Unleashed. This is one of those ones where you will want to foretell it to get the most bang for your buck. Then we have Selfless Spirit to give that indestructible again, and to maybe bring it back with Sigil of the New Dawn. Whenever a creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay 1 and a white. If you do, return that card to your hand. This can be a game breaker. If you had a good board and you didn't tap any mana into it, like say somebody played a Nevin Nero's Disc, well, you can get all of your creatures back because it triggers for each creature individually. And now we do have 2 Planeswalkers in this deck. Starting off with Sarah herself. It makes an angel. Turn 4, you don't have anything else, make an angel. And protect her to keep doing some more. Then we have Archangel Elspeth. With her -2, this is really just making a non-angel an angel. So if we don't have use for that solemn, or we need that solemn to be bigger, that's what we can do with it. And now let's get into the card draw of the deck. Starting off with a card that I had underestimated for a very long time. Tome of Legends. Enters with a page counter on it, and whenever your commander enters or attacks, put a page counter on it. For 1, you can draw a card. That is probably the cheapest rate for card draw, unless it's free from like Howling Mine, because eventually Howling Mine pays itself off. But Tome of Legends is for 2 mana and 1 colorless. That's 3 mana to start off with. But after that, you start adding 1 card and taking away a mana. So eventually you're going to end up even or ahead on your card draw. Because usually, like for non-blue, it's like 2 mana and something else. Or like for blue, it's like for 2 mana you can draw a card. Sometimes it's 1 blue, but it comes with a sacrifice. Something you got to do in the off chance. Archivist of Ogma, and I just happen to have a foil one sitting in my binder. I didn't even realize it. That's actually a pretty pricey card. Didn't even know it. Not Forgotten is a piece of card advantage, because if you want to pull something back from your graveyard and put it right back on top, there you go, and you get a little spirit out of it. Search for Glory, we do have nothing but snow basics, so guess what? We're going to be pretty much gaining 3 life every time we want to cast this. And with that life gain, we're going to funnel it into Well of Lost Dreams. And let me tell you, if you can get some lifelink angels out there or anything that can gain you life, this is you're gonna end up gaining a lot of card advantage. But if you can't, you can do it the old-fashioned way with a Mind's Eye. And this is a tribal deck, so we are throwing in a Vanquisher's Banner into the mix for an Anthem and for card draw. Now on to the removal. Path to Exile, Source of Plowshares, your standard removal. Faithful Absence. Seal of Cleansing for those pesky enchantments. Generous Gift for permanents. And then we have Lapse of Certainty as a counterspell, because nobody expects the white counterspell. Ravnica at War, because we're all in a all white deck, or with non-colored spells, with artifacts, everything else will just be destroyed or exiled. Then we got a cool Wrath of God, a route that can be sorcery or instant speed, depending on how bad you want it. And a Mass Calcify. That rounds out our removal, and now we go into our non-basics. So first we have Emiria the Sky Ruin for a little bit of that recursion, so it helps us bring back some of those angels we lost and mound up counters a little quicker. Field of Ruin for land removal. High Market to sacrifice to prevent any of that exiling. Misty Plains helps put one of our cards into our graveyard into our library on the bottom. Rogue's Passage for making sure our big angels can get through. Seraph Sanctuary, you gain a life when it enters and whenever an angel enters, just any. And Temple of False Gods, and like I said, we are running these beautiful snow-covered plains. But that's going to be it for today, guys. I really appreciate all of my subscribers, everybody that likes, shares, and comments on my videos. But if you have any suggestions for this deck, let me know down in the comments below. If you know anybody that has a Giada deck, send them this video and see if they have any tweaks they might want to put in their Giada deck. But that's going to be it for today. I'll see you guys next time in the graveyard.